welcome to the Can't Speak podcast, your one-stop shop for Rugby League chat. We hope you enjoyed our first interview with Andy Gregory. We'd like to thank all you listeners and downloaders out there, the likers and sharers on Facebook and Twitter. We really do appreciate it. But now it's another podcast and another Rugby League legend. Our guest made his name in the 60s and 70s, playing for Wigan before being snapped up by Penrith Panthers. His career saw many highs and lows, from championships to arguments with the board and his personal struggles, not to mention 17 red cards in his career. This player is truly one of a kind, Bill Ashurst.
Good evening, gentlemen. Hope you're all good.
Hello, Bill.
Good evening, Bill. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for doing this.
Not a problem.
It's going to be interesting.
Well, I've heard it before, it will be.
So should we start at, well, where it all begun, I suppose, you know. You're born and raised in Ince in Wigan, and you were always into sport from what I've read. Does that compute with you?
Yeah, I've always loved sport. Rugby League, my career in Rugby League began at Rosebridge High School, a secondary modern school then. It's different to what it is now. And the age of 11, it was where I got involved in playing Rugby League.
Aye. Was it always Rugby League that you wanted to be playing, or was it that you were always most talented at, you know?
No, originally I was a soccer player.
Right.
I was lucky, really. I mean, people say it was a natural gift, but I enjoyed both. And within school and within sport, my time was so much took up that, you know, that's probably why I thick as I am, because it was all it was all sport. I mean, I'll be honest with you. At one time, the teacher gave me and this other lad 20 questions. He was the thickest in school, and I got done for copying. He said. I said, "How do you know I copied?" He said, "Look," he said, "he's got 19 questions right." He said, "And you got 19 right."
Aye.
I said, "Well, where have I copied?" He said, "Well, for the 20th." He said, "He's put, I don't know." And you put, "Neither do I." I was, you know what I mean? He knew I was twigged straight away. But I was playing for the second year team, first year team, rugby, soccer, and I was lucky enough to get picked for Lancashire and Wigan schoolboys.
Yeah.
I was playing for the seniors, so it was all sport.
Brilliant. Oh, sorry, that proper tickled me. So eventually you did choose rugby. You know, I believe you had a trial for Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, but that came a little bit later. I mean, rugby, at one stage they said that I wouldn't walk properly, never mind play rugby. Because at the age of 15 we had a final against Wigan schoolboy.
Right.
And during that game, the day I left school, the same day I left school, I had a job waiting on the Monday, and we played Winners at Coronation Park, which was at near the Roma's Ice Cream. And during the game, this big kid, I mean, obviously you can't use the word fat or obese today, but this fat obese lad fell on my leg and completely snapped the epiphysis of my femur. And I was in hospital for 18 weeks. 19 week, and when I came out they said I'd have one leg shorter than the other and all this, but you know, thank God that everything was good, and I finished up playing football for Ince Parish Church.
What a thing to overcome at that age, you know. Did it ever put doubt in your mind?
No, just even on crutches, just wanted to get a ball in my hands and
keep
and
going,
just get back on the park with the lads, not Ince Park where we used to hang about. That was our all-seasons weather pitch, that Ince Park.
Imagine getting told that at 15, you know, you're not going to be able to do this again.
I know. It's an amazing thing to then go on and, you know, just, I suppose, the ignorance to what they're saying to you, you know, just being like, I know what I want to do, you know. I suppose that's the passion that gets you to where you got, you know. Like.
I mean, you know what I mean? I never had any handicap that I always overcame, because I started off watching Rugby League in 1958. We didn't have a telly at that particular time, but this Saturday morning my mum had ordered a rental black and white telly from Wigan.
Right.
By the time they'd put it in and got the pictures right, Wigan were walking out at Wembley against Workington Saturday afternoon.
Right.
And I fell in love with Rugby League then.
Yeah.
They became my heroes. Boston, Ashton, Holding, Sullivan, Cherrington, the full team. And even that day, I said to my mum, I love this, I'm going to play for Wigan, me, mum.
Yeah.
And I was only 10. And that's where the love of Rugby League really began in my life. On any handicap I overcame, I wanted to be a winner just like them.
Yeah. I mean, what idols and examples to have, you know, like, they don't come much bigger than your Eric Ashtons and Billy Bostons, you know.
Phenomenal, absolutely.
Great role models.
Do you remember that game?
I do,
First one you watched
I do.
it?
The lad who played on the wing, Bernard Gurin, actually lives around the corner here, Bernard.
All right.
We have a chat now and again.
Maybe we'll pop round there sometime soon. And all that.
Yeah.
So how did that develop? You know, you've got that news. You know you want to play rugby. You've had this big fat obese lad land on your knee. How did it go from that? And then you joining Wigan. You know, in was it '68 that you ended up joining them?
Yeah, 1968 it was, yeah. I mean, it was extraordinary that came about as well. We were playing a team at Adlington.
Right.
And good side they were. We beat them 134-0.
Right, it's a cricket score.
You can imagine we were just swapping positions, blah, 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 blah. And apparently there was a scout from Wigan Rugby League, a bloke by the name of Billy Cunliffe, lovely little man, Billy. And he said to me, I want to come for trials at Wigan. Well, I didn't know what it entailed, and I had a chat with the coach at Rosebridge at that time, a man named Molly Blake. And he said, give it a go, you've nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And apparently I found out later that he'd watched me in the 2 or 3 previous games, and once I said I'd go to Wigan for 3 trials. And I played my first trial at Knotty Ash, Liverpool.
Right.
Had a decent game, and second game, winter's evening at Central Park, I played working 20, had a decent game. And they took me straight from the pitch into the boardroom.
Right.
And it was from there that negotiations began with the chairman and the rest of the board after that game.
It just sounds like a dream, you know. You go from like you're playing against Adlington, and next minute you're called straight into a boardroom, you know. With
It's a big jump, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, you've come through the youth. The system's a little bit different now, but essentially the same. How important is that to the game as it is today, to have that youth system in place? I mean, I know you look at the current Wigan team as an example, and that youth that's come through, that's in the starting team, is so important. Are you a big fan of, you know, people going through the youth system?
Oh yeah, of course I'm a big fan of the youth system. You've got to encourage young players. And I think they have good systems within a professional club. But I do have little quirks about it. I think they take them too early.
Yeah.
I think 14, 15, 16 they should be playing with their amateur clubs.
Yeah.
And I think 17 is high enough to take them, because within the system you get a lot of good kids who don't get took.
Yeah.
Andy Gregg, for example, he never made a representative side.
Yeah.
On the system today, they may never have looked to Greg again.
Yeah.
But because there was no system for the young age, and Greg was playing amateur rugby, he didn't get overlooked.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall, he was the last guy I think signed from Bolton Raiders from amateur rugby. There's a lot of good young players in amateur rugby.
Yeah.
And because they've been overlooked for an early scholarship, they don't even recognise them again. That's the sad thing. And the only other beef I have is, when the system fails for them who don't make it, there's nothing in place for them coming back into the game.
No.
They just cast aside.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, and amateur clubs are struggling and suffering because of it.
Yeah, definitely.
There should be a development where they feed them back into rugby league. That's the only sad thing about it. But the youth, there's always been a saying, that a good young one will beat a good old one.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what's happening at Wigan.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 5, 6 of the lads I coach from young age, and it's fabulous to watch the way they've grown and developed.
I can imagine. Like, I think that is one thing where Wigan is lucky, because there's such a wealth of amateur sides around the place. You know, I suppose in quite a few of the towns there's not that. You know, you can name 15 clubs around Wigan that will have good amateur players there, you know. Especially like St Pat's, you know, they've basically a feeder club to Wigan, you know. But it's got to be a shame for them teams that don't have that to draw on. And like you say, if you're only picking people at 14 and you're not looking to your 16, 17-year-olds, you're going to overlook them late developers, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But one person who wasn't overlooked was you know. And you got signed up to Wigan. Like you say, you made your debut in 68, was it?
Yeah, it was actually a funny way to get told. I mean, like I said, I used to drink in a pub called Engineers Arms in Ince,
right,
bar, and I was having a drink in the pub, and I think it was only about 1:15 in the morning, Saturday morning, and I knocked come on the door, and it was the director, Martin Ryan.
Right.
He said, I've had a phone call to come and look for you. And you work for me. So he said, you better get home. He said, you're in the first team tomorrow. Someone cried off, and this was a Lancashire Cup game at Knowsley Road against Saints.
Oh, what an intro.
And Ashurst put me on the wing.
Right.
And he swapped Bill Francis in the centre. And I think we were losing with a couple of points at half time. And like I said, I've always stood up for what I believed in, and that was me.
Yeah.
And I went to Ash, 18-year-old kid who's Ashy with Ashy.
Yeah.
And I said, you've got it wrong. To me, he said, what do you mean you've got it wrong? I said, I'm a centre, he's a winger.
Yeah.
I said, swap us. And that he'd listened to me and had a great second half, and you know, it was good night for me when I got in the first team, and it was simply because I stood up for myself, really, and Ash was a listener.
Yeah, that confidence to go to someone like, you know, Eric Ashton and just be like, I'm a centre, you know, it takes some guts as a centre.
It's self-belief, isn't it? I mean, I've coached for many years, I've coached professional, coached amateur, and the simple answer is, if you don't want to be the best, don't do it.
Yeah,
Fair enough, isn't it?
So how did you then adjust then? You know, you've got your self-confidence, like you're saying, you know, that's proof, and you get into the first team. Did you feel like it was a constant battle to be keeping your position in the first team then once you're in there, you know, did it feel like you were constantly having to prove yourself, or, you know, did they kind of go, you're in now, you know, and you're Bill Ashurst type thing?
Well, not really. I was never in fear of losing the position. I mean, I was fortunate to play in a good side, and I was given freedom of expression.
Yeah.
And I played in the centre at that particular time, and I had great experienced players inside me.
Yeah.
And you can call it luck or whatever, but, you know, you work on things all the time.
Yeah.
When you're training with the team, when you're not with the team, it's all about what you want to do and what you want to be.
Yeah.
When I was confident, I was fortunate enough when I scored my first try. I could thank one of the cheerleaders at Wigan when I scored my first try. Playing all at Central Park, and we had, again, 3 of the biggest cheerleaders you've ever seen in your life. And we called them the Big Three. And I've got a ball outside there 25, and I've seen one of these behind the post, and I thought, if that gap's big enough for us,
It's big enough for you.
I can thank her that I went under the post my first half of Wigan.
At least they have the uses, didn't they? They're creating gaps for you, so that's the
Oh, dead set, yeah.
Maybe that's a problem now for Wigan team. They need a few more big
Oh, wow.
cheerleaders in there.
Yeah.
So you're in the team, you're making your name for yourself, you've got your position as centre. Did that stick for a while before moving into your, you know, you've played...
Yeah, I did a season, and I think I did just over a season and a bit in the centre. And then Ash came to me one night, we were playing Oldham on a Tuesday night at Wigan, and he said, look, I think you're getting a bit big. And the way you play rugby, he said, I think you'll be fitted to the second row. And like I said, I never, ever disagreed with what he actually said.
Yeah.
Because he was such a motivator, such a man who could read a game.
Yeah.
And he put me in the second row, and I've never looked back since.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you needed to make that change as well?
Not really, no. It was hard at second row forwards. It was tough at them days.
Yeah.
I mean, the game where I played them, people have, one of the questions, what injuries did you have? And I start from my feet to the top of my head, and I never had ball. The ball was miles away when I got it. That's how crazy the game was. But I just had a freedom. I mean, I didn't fit in any... What gave me the freedom was I didn't know what I was going to do next. So, you know what I mean? I was in the middle of the park, and I used to work on the kicking and everything else. Spend hours on the kicking, and, you know, I played with great players. Dave Robinson, best second row I've ever put my arm around. Dougie Lawton, Colin Clark, Cliff Hill, David Hill.
Yeah.
Danny Gardner, tough guys.
I think there was definitely more of a freelance approach back in your sort of era, wasn't there? Yeah. It seems today it's very structured and sort of militarised, really, with every player that they do, every set of sixes. But you can see what, you know, watching, like yourself and people you played with, there's to just have that freedom to whip the ball around, to to sort of do what you want to an extent.
Definitely.
And it got results. You know, even though you're talking about individuals, it sort of came together as a team.
I agree, Johnny. I agree. I was brought up with attack me. I was coached and believed that scoring tries wins your game. Defence doesn't lose your games, but it doesn't win your games.
Yeah.
And I was brought up with the football side of it.
Yeah.
Score points, you win games.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
And I did play with some great players.
Yeah, because people do say, don't they, that rugby league is the simplest game in the world, and it is, because basics win games, don't they? Points win games, and that's it. If you stick to your basics, then you win.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. I am not an absolute avid lover of modern day rugby league.
No.
I mean, I've always said it's the best game in the world, but we played no fear rugby.
Yeah.
I watch a fear game. I don't mean fearing I'm scared he'll hit me, but I mean fear in control, losing possession.
Yeah.
You know, fear of not having the ball, so we can't win.
Yeah.
I mean, I spoke to Sean about a couple of kids he had on with a different position, Ryan Hampshire, for example.
Yeah.
I said, why is he not playing in his natural position from being a 70-year-old kid? And he said, he's got to fit into my structure. So I just said to Sean, well, what's in the dictionary does a structure say? Is it not a wall?
Yeah.
Could be. I said, well, look, the Great Wall of China, 3,000 miles, but it'll be chuffing boring if you walk it. What structure?
Yeah, exactly. It is, and that's you can see that you watch a game from the 70s and 80s and watch a modern day game, and it's completely different. Absolutely, completely different. Even, I mean, I know we were just discussing before we started recording about what people are being sin-binned and sent off for today. And, and you'd said that the things that you've seen on the modern day game, you wouldn't get a penalty for that when you were on the field. It was just you carried on.
Yeah. I mean, people call it the year of the biff, but all right, it was a tough game. You had the odd skirmish, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it wasn't as brutal as what people make it out to be. Like, it wasn't having a lot of injuries, like I said, off the ball, blah, blah, blah. But to be involved in the 60s, 70s and 80s, it was a fabulous game of rugby with fantastic personalities. Your Millwoods, your Murphys, your Hardises, your Reelers, your Lawtons, these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic football.
There's a reason why their name lives on now as well, because they brought that exciting rugby, Like, I mean, like we're saying about the modern game now, you can kind of, you expect what's going to happen a lot of the time, like there's a lot of that, like, driving on fifth, kick it, or it's like three players and then it's a bit of second phase rugby. Like, and I watched some of the games on YouTube last night with you involved at Wigan or Penrith Panthers, and general 70s games, and it's like it's end to end constantly. There's a kick going on, they get the ball back, and then they'll do an attacking kick, not just clearing the lines, and I can't imagine, say, Liam Farrell playing that sort of rugby you're doing back then in the same position, like it's completely transformed the game, and I think it is a shame that kids growing up now don't see that excitement on the pitch or that just free play, because
what they've learned from 7 years old playing rugby league football. The sad thing is, it's coached out of them when they get to a level because they start getting into the fair game. Yeah. You can imagine Henry Gregg playing today.
I know,
the greatest players I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In a pair of boots.
Yeah.
Would the coach stifle him? You can guarantee they would. Because he wouldn't have the same freedom today as he did have then.
Yeah. That's it.
I suppose with something like that, how would you say, George Williams, he's had interest from the NRL. How would you say a player like Andy Gregg, held in similar esteem at his time? I think we'd all agree he's one of the best Wigan players ever, best standoff. What about George Williams compared with that? Do you see the similarities in it, or do you think them things are coached out, I think Greg had a better all-round game than George. Don't get me wrong, George is a good kid. He started me with my 13 and 14 at St. Pat's. A good. But when there was talk about him going to Aussie, I put it to Facebook. I said, go. Yeah. Why do you want to play here for a mediocre 2 games and then a good game? Go and test yourself against the best. Yeah.
If you want to be the best, you've got to play against the best.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I went to Australia, apart from getting away from my mother-in-law. That's one of the reasons I went to Australia.
We can edit
because
that
I wanted to be top dog, and
Yeah.
that's what I've always. And George has got that ability.
Yeah.
It's so natural.
I think that's it. You look at the likes of Greg and George, and there's an element there that you can't coach. It's a gift, that, isn't it? You have to have that that about you, and them two, 30 years apart, but they have got that sort of X factor about them that you can't coach. You have to have that.
Well, like I said, when I was playing national, I used to give his team talk. He'd look at me and he'd just say, "Go and enjoy yourself."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you can play with that freedom, you have pleasure playing rugby league.
Yeah. So we've talked about you starting off at Wigan. You've established yourself as a name, and then I think it was 1971 was probably the more successful year with Wigan you had. I think it was a Lancashire County Cup, Lancashire County League, and the Championship as well that you won. How was it, going into a year like that? Kind of, there'd been a couple of years of not quiet, but you know what I mean. It was suddenly a year where it's almost a treble. How was that to land in as a young player?
It was. I should have put unexpected.
Yeah.
Simple reason was we played on the Good Friday against Saints at Wigan. Imagine this scenario: Colin Tyra kicked off. By the way, such odd thousands of people on.
Yeah.
John Stevens, our prop, knocked it to me. Short kick off. I caught it under the post. 5-0. Saints hadn't touched the ball. We lost that game 53 points to 11.
Oh my God.
So after the game, we just didn't let our show come in the dressing room. We really ripped into each other, insulted each other. With age, we came out of the dressing room. And the lads then created such a record, what for me has never been beaten. We won 31 league games consecutive after that loss.
Unbelievable.
We won the Lancashire Cup, we won the Floodlit Cup, which I lasted 10 minutes, I think I got sent off again. We got to the final, we won the League Leaders Trophy.
Yeah.
We got to the final of the Harris Sunderland, where I was fortunate to win the Harris Sunderland Trophy in the Premiership final.
What an accolade that is.
And I think we got to Wembley with Castleford when Tyra did his jaw.
Yeah.
And it was a phenomenal year. It was so exciting that year.
You're obviously named as one of the standout players from that. Obviously, you win the Harry Sunderland, it's a prestigious trophy to win, How did you feel going through that? You were being looked up to by players suddenly, even as such a young player, or was it just, like you said, you've gone in the dressing room, you've left your coach outside and you've just torn each other a new one, like as players? Was that the sort of respect that you all had for each other? You take a rollicking, a bollocking off each other, and then you move on type thing, you're in it together.
That's because we had that spirit. And the way we bonded together and the way we worked for each other, we realised in that meeting after that game that it was togetherness was what it was all about.
Yeah.
From that day, I've always gone with the aspect of talking to my kids and players as coaching, because together you can achieve anything.
Yeah.
Separate, you can achieve nothing. And I've always had what we said at the end of that meeting. There's no T on the end of can.
Yeah.
We can achieve it all, you know what I mean? And we went from strength to strength after that meeting.
Yeah.
I think you see it on the, on the field, back in your day, and in the modern game today. I think if players, sometimes, you hear fans or commentators or whatever saying that, they're having an argument and he's having to do it in, but that's initially thought of negativity, but it's not, is it? You know what I mean? You're a team, and you need to sort that shit out to move forward, and people automatically think, they're arguing. How many times do you hear that amateur rugby?
Yeah.
They're arguing. Their heads are down. Yeah. They're not. They're just having a discussion. That's all.
If you don't get into it time and time again, you can't get anything constructive across.
That's it.
Exactly.
Because that frustration is just going to build and build. And
yeah, if you can't take a bollocking off a team, then you can't off anyone.
Exactly.
You're in it together, aren't you? So you've had your success in that massive year in 1970. I think it was 70-71 season, wasn't it? Were you happy at the club? How was you getting on with the players? How about the coach and the board themselves,
Yeah, I was very, very happy, but it was a chairman that really caused the despondency within myself at Wigan. What had happened, I'd broken my elbow.
Yeah.
And we drew Wakefield at Wigan in a John Player Trophy round.
Right.
And I went training on the Thursday, didn't train Tuesday, went training on the Thursday, I had the X-ray seen especially, and it was broken 2 places in Melbourne. And Ashurst said, if you're not fit, Bill, the board wants to see you in the boardroom, directors. So I went up and the chairman's there, Mr. Bibby, Norman Bibby, and he looked at me, he said, why are you not playing? Mm-hmm. I said, I've broken my elbow, Mr. Chairman, as you've got medical evidence, what prove it like?
Yeah.
He said, have a needle. I said, don't talk like a prick, have a needle. I said, it's broke. I said, and by the way, where I play, there's always somebody runs onto your elbow.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing. And he just said, well, if I had my way, he said, you wouldn't play for this club again. So I said, well, fair enough, Mr. Chairman, or words to that effect. I said, I won't play for this club again. And I walked out and I went home and I never played for Wigan after that.
Yeah. I mean, where did he get that from? Where it's like, if I had my way, you'd never play for this club again. You know, you've
probably because of one particular game I'm not fit enough to play. I had played with needles before, obviously.
Yeah, that's
in muscles or pulls or strains, but
can't do it for
not
a
in a
broken
break.
ball. No. Especially that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's arrogance, isn't it? That it's because he's not getting his own way. I mean, to have that relationship you did with your coach, with your teammates, for me, they shouldn't get involved. They're there to pay your wages at the end of the day, and
he was a big fat bloke who just didn't think he knew everything. I never got on his side one day. I think that was when he didn't like me. He came in the dressing room when we were playing a game and he said, somebody's not turned up, I'll play number 7. And I just said, sorry, Mr. Chairman, you can play 8, 9 and 10. So I don't think he appreciated me from then, you know what I mean?
But surely there was just him who thought that no one could make you play with a broken elbow, can they?
Well, at that particular time, I was so incensed and I was so angry. I just said, I don't want to play for this club anymore. You can stick your club where the sun don't shine. And it was then that they put me on transfer for a world record transfer fee.
Yeah, to the Penrith Panthers. Yeah, were they called the Penrith Panthers then?
Yeah, originally they were called the Panthers. Originally, I was going to Cronulla.
Right.
We lived in a 2 up, 2 down in Belgreen Lane, and got a knock on the door, and it was Tommy Bishop and Cliff Watson.
Right.
Tom was coaching Cronulla at that time.
Well, that was a surprise coming over from
Yeah,
Australia.
And he said, we want you to come to the Sharks, Bill. I said, well, we'd had a rough time twice. We'd nearly got divorced and we'd give it another go, and we discussed it and thought it would be a chance. I wanted to go and play rugby.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing here, and it was a chance to try and get away from her family and Mark and gel together and all
Yeah.
So I asked them what they were offering, and they could only give you $2,000 a season, which was a capping system like they have today.
Yeah.
They offered me a house and a job. So we had this discussion, me and Sheila. I said, okay, we'll go.
Yeah.
So we said, we'll be in touch. Well, within 2 days, and then honestly, and Penrith Panthers, 2 directors, Wally Ward and Bruce Wellison. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to Cronulla. So Wally said, what have they offered you, Bill? I said, they've offered me a capping system, a house and a job. He said, we can only give you the $2,000 if you come Penrith, because it's being lifted next year and we'll dump it up to 17 grand then.
Right.
He said, we'll get you the house, job. We'll make sure you have a swimming pool and a car. I just looked at Sheila, I said, listen, love, I said, I can't drive and I can't swim, but I know where I'm going.
Good decision.
So, they gave us 500 quid spending money. I met them in Dragonair at Leeds and signed a contract in Leeds.
I think they signed you for, I think at the time it was 15... Was it 15 grand at the time? But I think that equated to...
I think Penrith paid $27,000.
Right.
That's it.
Well, whatever it was, I think it equated to over a $250,000 quid, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which was the world record signing.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's some book, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you feel that pressure then going over being this world record signing, or was that just a headline in the paper?
It was just...
And you're going over to do a job?
Yeah, it was just... I just wanted to play rugby.
Just where it's sunny.
Yeah, never felt any pressure. I mean, obviously, you had the adrenaline kick when he was getting ready to go playing, like, but never felt any pressure.
Good.
Because, you know what I mean, it was me, what I did, and just got on with what I wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I played. It was so in 1973, December, the 3rd of December, we flew from Heathrow to Sydney. But like I said, I didn't know how thick it was. I said I wouldn't travel at school. It was middle of our winter.
Yeah.
We both thought winter clothes, 120 something degrees when we were that play. So you've got all the TV and radios. This guy who's come from Wigan, signed for Penrith.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through customs, and the first words from an arrogant chuffing Aussie, he looked at my passport, looked at me, and he went, have we got a criminal record? I said, why is it still chuffing compulsory? That was my introduction, walking through Sydney Airport.
Welcome to Australia.
Take it all down on your parka jacket for that.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Did you know that there was that interest from Australia before going out there, you know? I mean, did you see it as an aim in your career at all, like play at Wigan and hopefully make an aim to go over to Australia? Or
No, just took everything as it came. Never made any plans, just took everything as it came. Same as today, live for today, tomorrow, enough trouble of its own.
Aye.
Saying that, were there many players that did go over from, say, England to Australia back then?
Oh, there was plenty. What happened,
Yeah.
if you cast your mind back, they couldn't beat us in a test series
Right.
because they couldn't play our game. So what they decided to do was take the footballers.
Yeah.
Mal Reilly, Roger Millwood, Brian Lockwood, Dougie Lawton, myself, even Steve-O. They wanted to learn how we played football.
Yeah.
And so they took all the ball players, and then once they understood our game, we've never beat them in a series since.
I know.
Yeah. Because wasn't it 1970, Britain win the World Cup, and then that was when they were just like, we're having, snaps them up.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Mike Stevenson there. Is he worth a mention at all?
Mike was a great hooker.
Yeah.
Great hooker. People said we hated each other. We didn't.
I've seen bits and bobs about that.
No,
yeah.
we didn't. What we did, we made money from it
Right.
because we played up to the press.
Yeah.
And we get more money opening a shop or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we carried on what they believed.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't best of friends. We didn't live in each other's pocket. He did his own thing and I did my thing off the pitch.
Yeah.
But on the pitch, he was a good hooker, good player.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they'd chose you for do Sky commentary instead of him. I think you'd have done a better job.
I never thought I'd say this, but I sort of miss him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's because for 20 years I've listened to him talk. I can't say it because he does come out with a good point every now and again. But I mean, you know, he made the grade, didn't he? You know, he knows what he's talking about. Although he did come out with some crap every now and again, but he's got the CV to back it up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he was a good player.
Well, he was in that
Good
World
hooker.
Cup winning team, wasn't he? You know, you forget things like that.
Yeah, crows in my throat, that World Cup winning team. I was selected for the 72 in France.
Yeah.
And the week before I did my ACL and I couldn't play. So.
Thank you. Now, have you? I mean, you've had your your share of knocks and bangs over the year, but I mean, you always seem to come back. It never seems to affect your form as such. You know what I mean? You can have, key example, Paul Sculthorpe, excellent player. Paul's sort of career just sort of dipped to the end because he was fighting that many injuries. He sort of retired, finished the game on sort of a sour note, really. But it never seemed to affect your game. You came back as good as, if not a little bit better than what you went off with.
Yeah, possibly. Like I said, I finished up, had 13 operations on my knees altogether.
Right.
And sometimes I can't get up in the morning with my knees and all that, but I wouldn't change a thing. I had my appendix out and I was back playing within 4 weeks. I worked hard with the physio, I worked hard in the, getting fit, and then it was young painkiller here and there. I had to pack in at the end in 82 because I was having 5 painkillers in each knee.
Right.
And we played Wigan at Wakefield and we were beating them. I had a cracking first half. Murphy was coaching Wigan, Graham West and all them guys. I'd left to go to Wakefield playing. And this left knee wore off and I tweaked it again and came off at half time. We would have won that game and I carried on.
Yeah.
But we lost with a couple of points and that was the time to give it away.
How was it playing, Wigan? Was it? I think. Are you just sort of like, it's a game, they're an opposition, let's crack on with it? Was there any sense of sort of I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Rivalry. Was it a bigger game for you?
I just wanted to beat Wigan because I hated the little gobshite what sacked me.
Yeah, well, that's a good enough reason, isn't it? Yeah. How many times did you play against them then? Was it just
the one?
Just the once?
Yeah.
Half a game.
Yeah.
How was that carried on now? Do you still feel some resentment towards... I mean, I know it's different people running the club and stuff like that, but would you say they're the team you support, Wigan,
Oh, yeah. Wigan are always support Wigan, always be a Wiganer. But, it is upsetting when you've been in the game coaching and to get sacked the way I did at Wigan. I got sacked because I become the gaffer. I was doing everything, selecting teams, taking training. He'd been knocking somebody off while I was doing the training session.
Yeah.
I'd pick the teams, we'd work. He was in Australia the first 8 weeks, we never lost a game. We had a fabulous team spirit. I've always tried to build my teams like we had on the team spirit side of it.
Yeah.
Because a team with half ability of the opposition, but with 10 times more team spirit, will win a game. And we finished third in the competition, we won the John Player Trophy.
Yeah.
And like I said, he sacked me at the end of the season because the guys were coming to me as the boss. And I've always known, and I'm not a big head, I'm just a lad from Wigan who played Rugby League. I'm a good coach what's lost on the game because I should have been involved in the game.
Definitely.
I mean, an example was at Runcorn. I went to Runcorn in '88, won 4 games in 4 years. We won our first 10 games. We won 16 games in a season. And this was the nail in the coffin for me. The chairman came to me and said, well, we've got to let you go. And I said, Mr. Chairman, we won 16 games. He said, that's the problem, we can't pay winning pay. So I was gone for success and I never got... And I've had success in the amateur game and loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Loved every second of the amateur rugby league game. Rosebridge, Wigan Open Age, Hindley for 6 years, St Pat's for 7-8 years. It's been fantastic. But I've missed out on the professional side of it, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a shame as well, because you did, like you say, you co-coached with Murphy for a bit, like co-coached with Murphy, and at Wakefield you did player coach, didn't you?
Yeah.
For a while there, and it's like, it just seemed, like when I've been reading about you and stuff, it's like, it just drops off and then there's this mention of Runcorn and then it goes again, Would you look at going into something, like you say, you've had a lot of injuries and operations, like, were you just the voice, I mean, you're imparting the wisdom, or you're defining a way it should be played, or would you not like that?
Well, what is a professional coach?
Yeah.
A voice. There's so many understudy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was coaching, we were the conditioner, we were everything rolled into one. But no, I mean, Wayne's got more coaches than Greyways, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true though, isn't it?
I mean, to be a voice and a motivator of the coach, that's what your job is, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, they do. They have more staff than players now, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
It's true. That guy just sits at laptop all game as well. I don't know
Yeah,
what he's doing.
Yeah, I want his job.
Aye.
I knew I was partway out when I told Murphy at Workington that if he was employed with Walt Disney, he couldn't coach Donald Duck out quack, so I knew there might be a chance there.
Oh, brilliant.
How did you find it, getting back to your time at Penrith Panthers, how did you find the coaching different there, and, was there any sort of culture shock, like you say, it's 120 odd degrees and you're in your winter clothes, once you got over that, was there a very different style to training? Was it a lot more professional, the watching what you eat, what you drink,
Not so much eating, it was a lot tougher.
Right.
But at Penrith, I had the second best coach I ever played under, a guy called Roy Masters.
Right.
He eventually took St George to 2 grand finals, West to 2 grand finals. Great coach.
Yeah.
But I found I was the worst trainer in the world, mate. I was the laziest bloke you'll ever go. The first training session, it was 130 the humidity. Yeah. They took us to this national park.
Right.
Glenbrook National Park, where I'm staying, by the way, when I go back. We're going on this run. We've marked the flags out. We've marked where you go. And I'd heard of spiders. I'd heard of snakes. And that's the first time I've ever finished a training session first. I beat the spiders, I beat the snake, dodged the kangaroos. We finished in this place called Jellybean Pool. He said, take a dip, Bill, you deserve it. I come out like chuffing Humphrey Burgers. I'm full of leeches. I thought, what the chuffing hell have I come to again? That was my inauguration to a Penrith training session.
Yeah.
And then after that, I found a lot of shortcuts. So everything was all right.
Was the game itself a lot tougher though?
Not really. I mean, Rugby League didn't change. It was... I mean, I got sent off throughout to the first 4 games, but you got to look after yourself.
There's a surprise.
you got to stand up. Once I got over the initial suspensions, it was all right. I just played my normal game.
What was? I mean, the and don't get me wrong, you've had an excellent career. We're not gonna focus on the discipline side of it. Yeah. That's obviously changed to what it is today, which we've touched on earlier. But I mean, what these sending offs that you've had, was it just sort of a no shit attitude? And if they got in your way, then you hit them with something, whatever it may be. If you're with me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like I said, whatever it took for me to be winner. If they wanted to watch sledge, I'd do that. If they wanted to fight, I'd do that. If they wanted to play football, I'd do that.
Yeah.
Whatever aspect of the game they think they were better than me, I'd have a go beating them at that game, whatever it took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one example, I got sent off against North Sydney because there were 26 players fighting, and I mean the biggest brawl I've ever been involved with. Well, the referee just picked me. He said off. What was funny about it, he was a bit of a clown. The referee's name was Donald MacDonald, wasn't it? So he looked at me truthfully and he went off. So I started walking off and I had my mum over for holiday.
Yeah.
My mum walked on and cracked the referee with her handbag. They carried my mum off. Lovely time with my mum. It was Mother's Day, wasn't it?
Oh.
So I've come back suspended. After suspension, we're playing Eastern Suburbs at Sydney Sports Ground. Beatson, Fairfax, Fulton, all them guys.
Yeah.
And we're on the scrum and I've got all the beats and we're just going to give each other a jab. And Ronnie Cook put his head from the scrum when he went, don't hit him, he'll send for his mum. And I killed him. I went purple and I killed him. I chased him all day. We lost 40 points and I never copped him. Spoiled it.
So you got another load of red cards coming up just for sure that you didn't need your mum. You were like, I'll sort you out myself.
She never went again, she got signed down, my mum.
She was playing at Wakefield when you got back. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, I suppose, like you say, you've got that team spirit, but you've also got that desire to win as well. So there's going to come red cards and stuff like that, Do you think that's something missing from the game nowadays?
No, I honestly don't. It is a very physical game, and they're wonderful athletes what play the game today. But it's a safe game.
Yeah.
You get your accidents, your head clashing and all that's because of the power, the force that they're going into each other. But it's a safe game. You don't need to look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You don't get the elbow from behind. You know what I mean? You don't get the stamp as you're playing a ball. Yeah. It's a clean game.
Yeah.
And the player's safety, which is foremost, should come to the front.
Definitely.
And that's what happens today compared to our game. Like I said, half the time I didn't have any, the ball half the time I got injured. I remember this is plastic. Oh, this is plastic. My eye had dropped underneath me. That was because I got an elbow off Steve Breener from Wigan. But I came to Wigan, I said, look, it's on the pitch, it stays on the pitch.
Yeah.
I said, but you play against me again, I'll run 40 yards and kick your head straight through your head. Because what was over the whitewash stayed there, but you waited, next time you had a, whatever you want to call it, a little black book.
Yeah.
We should touch on the goal kicking now that we've made that reference.
Yeah. Is that how you practice?
We said, didn't we, before we started, about how you sort of adopted this sort of new sort of style of goal kicking because your background of playing soccer. So just touch on that and how that sort of developed.
Well, as I said, it developed really from my soccer days. I used to be the guy who took the corner because you could swing the ball in when you hit it with the instep, and it developed from that. I was decent at drop goal in, which was the instep. Mm-hmm. Everything worked from the instep. I didn't have a special boot like CT Colin Tyrell with a hard toe. It was just all developed from the run from the corner, because you come on the handle and you know what I mean. It was easy.
Yeah.
It was easy. We used to practice. Me and CT had practice together.
Yeah.
We do a lot to the kicking. We open play. I mean, these 40-20s today I'd love it, because I had no fear. I'd kick on the first tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, we play a game again where we wait till fourth, fifth tackle, wingers would drop back. Use the first tackle, second tackle, they're not allowed.
Yeah.
When I train after training at Central Park, and I put tin cans all the way, and I'd be able to turn and hit the tin can within a yard and bounce into touch, and it was all rehearsed in training. What
Yeah.
So you didn't necessarily like training for the fitness side of things, but skill.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
skill
yeah.
training, that's what
Skill
you
more
loved it
important than
for.
fitness.
Yeah.
Because Dave Robinson, my second row, used to say to me, "I'll do your tackling." I said, "That'll do for me." You get the points. That's what Dave used to say to me.
It's not a bad deal, is it, I suppose?
No.
Another example of your team spirit, I suppose, and say, I'll do tackling, especially when you look at it back then. Like I say, I saw someone just kick someone clean in the face yesterday, watching it on YouTube, and it was like, referee's like, play on. You're like, right.
Never ever use my feet.
No.
Never. Head, elbows, knees, but not my feet.
Yeah.
Taboo. Totally taboo.
Yeah.
Was there a certain chord on the pitch between players, do you think? You know,
Not really. There was always some fat bastard who could always put his feet in when he was on the floor.
You've been at Penrith for a couple of seasons, and you know you had success along the way. But was there any games that stood out for you, or any season that you felt like you were achieving what you did at Wigan? You felt like you were part of a team like you were at Wigan.
Well, I thought I'd achieved something when I won a brand new Alfa Romeo car. Yeah. That was for a golden try in a competition.
Right.
It's called the Panasonic Trophy, and won 3 colour televisions, sold them all. I won a brand new Alfa Romeo car.
Nice.
Trip to Hong Kong.
I remember Andy Gregg touched on this. He won, was it 17 grand
All
worth
electric
of
stuff.
Panasonic stuff.
25 grand, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of tellies and microwaves anyway, wasn't it? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest team today, talking point of Penrith, was we played St George at Penrith Park.
Right.
And we were losing with 10 minutes left, 19-0. And we scored 25 points in 10 minutes. Turned them over 25-19. Yeah.
That's some doing, isn't it?
Great. Timmy Sheens was awesome that day.
Yeah.
So how did that develop then to your eventual coming back home, I suppose, to Wigan,
Well, what happened? I lived a lifestyle that was fitted to me and not my family. And Sheila had had enough of it, and she wanted to come home,
Right.
separate, bring her mum and dad back, thank God. But I wasn't coming back.
No.
And then what happened, I'm not sure, the year 1977, there was a polio scare in this country. I don't know if you remember. Kids were queuing up for sugar and penicillin, and I was worried for the kids. So I asked Penrith for passionate lead for a couple of weeks, and they said no. And I thought, well, my family's more important than Penrith.
Of course.
So I jumped on a plane and came home. And I'd already advanced 2 years' money from Penrith.
Right.
Well, the Aussies couldn't take a joke either, so they decided to ban me from playing Rugby League for a number of months.
Right. Bloody hell. So that was in effect over here, or as well, was it, that you couldn't play it? Right.
They put an embargo for different people. They stopped the players going over then for a while.
Right.
That's scandalous. That.
Yeah.
So you can't have anything to do for a while.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of
I used to train at my brother-in-law's gym, and I used to do a lot of running up the canal because Wigan said they were going to work a deal out with Penrith, which they did.
Yeah.
They got me back for $6,000, I think.
Do you think that originally, you're not wanting to come back here and stay in Penrith until Liska, understandably you wanted to be with your family, but do you reckon it was just blind dedication to Rugby League, or the lifestyle you were living, or both,
Both.
Yeah.
I won't on her, so what I used to live like. She'll never talk to me again, but it was the lifestyle I was living. That was the lifestyle we had, and it's not like it is today. No mobile, people couldn't photograph you or whatever. And we just were bad boys at times.
What happens in Penrith stays in Penrith.
Yeah, exactly. Would you?
I mean, one of give you an example. I went back in '06 and one of the lads, Westy and Glenn, he used to be he'd been with a girl and she had this kid and he never knew about this kid. She wouldn't tell him who her dad was. Then one day, young Corey's gone in the club when he's grown up and seen a picture of his dad, and he knew the exact double. So he's gone up to Queensland, found Wester, knocked on his door. Mr. Wester, my son.
Wow.
What you do? And every child that came near me, I said, nothing to do with me, mate.
Growing a beard and shaving.
That's what happened, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you have stayed? All those.
If Sheila had stayed, yeah.
You would have done.
Yeah.
You would have done. How long did you do there in
Sheila's
total?
biggest regret. She always regrets coming back.
Going back.
We'd have sorted our stuff out then, and
Yeah.
that was sorted it out.
But I mean, the thing is, Bill, that you did it. A lot of players who'll get the opportunity. Some won't do it. Some will do it. Sam Tompkins has been over there. Didn't work out for him. Come back. Joe Burgess, Zach Hardacre. But I mean, they can, in 25, 30 years' time, they can sit there and say, well, I did it instead of the what ifs.
Yeah. And as well, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. You've obviously left a mark over there, which, like we say, a lot of players don't. You were voted into the team of legends, I think, was it for the past 35, 40 years? How did that feel after leaving in such, I suppose, unceremonial ways, coming back and there's whatever?
It was tremendous. I mean, when I got back from Penrith, a number of years ago, I became a Christian in 1988, and I was praying for years to be able to go back and apologise for the way I did leave.
Yeah.
And then this came out of the blue, and they took me back to Penrith, and there was a 3,000 people in the marquee at back of Pepper Stadium that night, and I got up like I had to make a speech before, and I just said, first, before I accept this reward, I want to apologise for what I did in 1977, the way I left.
Yeah.
I said, I've always regretted it. I said, I've been praying. I said, God's got me back here. Somebody said, we paid. I said, I don't give a monkey. God got me here. And I did have the chance to apologise in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And they still said, it's like I'll go back next 2 weeks' time. It's like I've never been away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just like Gus Gould was. I mean, Gus Gould, for example, when he was in the 23s, I was in the first team then.
Yeah.
And the kid would ask me to learn about kick after training, and I'd spend ages with Gus Gould and stuff like that.
It's that team spirit.
Yeah, Bundy Blacklock, who I go back and see, and all the guys. I mean, when I went back last 2 years ago, Penrith organised a penthouse suite on the Gold Coast.
Not so bad.
And 16 of the lads who I played with flew in from all over Aussie and stayed with me Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we had a fantastic... That's respect, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I mean, if you go again, we're more than happy to come with you.
Yeah.
And we can do an interview on the beach if you want.
One of the funniest experiences at Penrith, Johnny, was one of the toughest prop forwards I've ever played with, a lad called Terry Geary. His nickname was Dollar. Right. He wouldn't spend $1, we called him Dollar. And if you can imagine playing half of football and couldn't stop laughing. And the opposition thought we were weirdos. What happened, small dressing room at Penrith, and Dollar used to get changed near the toilet. So this young kid's coming first time in the first team, Stores and I'm Glenn.
Yeah.
So he's gone the loo, no toilet roll. So somebody said, you Dollar shirt? He's got Dollar shirt, and he's whacked his ass. That was the laughing when it started straight away, right? So we turned the shirt round so we couldn't see it. So he's got the shirt. Well, South must have thought we were crazy because we couldn't stop laughing. Because every time he got the ball, one of the lads will shout from the centre, Dollar, put shit on these men! And then when we're coming in half time, the first word Dollar was, what's all this shit? And then Sheedy said, that was on back in.
Brilliant.
Well, we kicked in the second half. We finished up beating them in the second half.
Oh, fantastic. Back from Australia, this band's disappeared that Penrith have kindly put on you. Come up with a deal at Wigan. So tell us sort of where you went when you went back to Wigan, sort of where you went from there then.
Well, I enjoyed it at Wigan for a short time because they had Vince Craley's coaching, and he was fitness-wise, I've never been as fit in my life. We had an average session with Vince, and we'd start at 7 and finish up at 25 past 10, something like that, in the gym under the stand. Really, really fit. But I remember we played one. We got in like a cup final, first time for a while. I think we're going to be in a final. We got beat by Workington at Wilderspool. But I used to work this set piece, fabulous set piece. I still bring it in today. It's hard to explain to you, but I threw this ball and Stephen O'Neill went under the post. Nobody laid a finger on it. Against Bradford in a cup game. We came off at half time and he come straight across to me, Vinny, and he said, "What was that pass?" I said, 5 points. He said, "I don't want to see any of them passes in my team." He said, he just wanted you to play tough and fight.
Yeah.
So I just said, "Not for me." He said, "If you don't want a football, you don't want me." So I took my shirt off at half time and give it him. I said, "I'm off." And this was on the Saturday TV game. Anyway, Wigan called an emergency meeting on the Sunday morning, put me on for an interclub transfer record then for £18,000.
Yeah.
And on the Monday, the manager from chairman of Hull rang me.
Right.
Was it Wardby or Walker or something like that? Yeah. He said, "Would you like to come to Hull?" He said, "I want to build a team round you." And I looked at the map and I thought, nah. And then the day after, David Topless and Trevor Woodward from Wakefield, I played with Topo at Penrith.
Yeah.
He came to our house and said, "We want you to come to..." And I got a decent deal with them. And they sorted it with Wigan. And on the Tuesday night, I signed for Wakefield. They had 8 games left. They had to win 3 of the games, not get relegated. So that was on a sign on a Tuesday. Thursday they played Featherstone at Featherstone. He picked me up from me. I'd never met a player. Walked in the dressing room, got man of the match, we beat Featherstone. We won 7 of our last 8 games, and I was a Wakefield player.
How did you find it going on from the lead in the pack? I know this is where a couple injuries kind of started later in your career. How did you take that? You know, did you try and play through for a bit and it just got the better of you type thing, you know?
Well, it did. I think I had 3 years on the trot. I had ACL and operations at Middlesbrough General. He was our specialist at Wakefield Trinity then. And I kept coming back in between with your painkilling injections and everything else. And then they eventually give me the player coaching job. Fabulous deal they gave me. They gave me the player coaching job, and then they sold David Topless, Trevor Scurry, Graham Idle, Lorraine Flynn. And I was left with nothing. We got relegated by a point.
Yeah.
And so I lost the job, and that was when I finished up back at Wigan as assistant coach to Alex Murphy. Then the last opportunity came was at Runcorn Harfield.
Yep.
And I finished up doing the job there for a year and a half. And it was at that particular time that it was probably the worst experience of my life.
Right.
Because with Runcorn, we drew Wigan in a John Player Trophy game.
Yeah.
All the players went on strike. And I found out the team that they brought in was on 150 quid, win, lose or draw. So I thought, I'll go on the bench with my assistant, we'll get 150 quid for sitting there. I walked on the pitch, it was great reception, 16,000, spent Greg and all the guys were playing, Alan and all them. And after 10 minutes we were losing with 50 points. The old rugby grade kicked in, "I'll make a difference, I'll go on." So I was only on about 5 minutes and I got an elbow, headbutted Andy Goodray and I got sent off.
You made a difference.
Yeah, that's the first time I've cried walking off on a rugby pitch.
Really?
Really, because 3 weeks previous I'd given my life to the Lord, I'd become a Christian.
Right.
And it wasn't what I'd done to Goodray, it was I'd let God down, I'd let everybody down. And anyway, I apologised to Andy when he came off. Well, this is how God works in his own way. that was the worst time of my rugby career. But the following day, I had looked north at my door. I had Granada reports at my door. Come and take the mickey. What happened? You're supposed to be a Christian.
Right.
And I could stand up that day and say, I am a Christian.
Yeah.
And I apologised for what I did. And from that day, God completely turned that worst experience into glory for me, because from then, I've been all over the country and the world speaking up for what Jesus has done in my life.
Yeah. And that's what you dedicate that passion to now from your rugby.
Yeah.
You know, it's transferred over. You know, it's great, and you're inspiring people still, you know, like you did with your rugby, and I suppose you've got two pathways of inspiring people now, you know. So yeah, I think that's all that's left for us to do is thank you for your time, and thanks for speaking so openly to
Not
us.
a problem. I'll just finish off with one statement, if you don't mind. What sums it all up?
Go on for it.
Not long ago, walking through Wigan Market, true story, my wife was with me. I got a pull on my jacket. I looked round, and there was this little old woman, about 4'12". Must have been 90. She looked up at me and looked down at her, true story. She looked me in the eyes and she said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "What is it, love?" She said, "Was you Bill Ashurst?" I said, "I was." And thank God I still am.
Smashing.
Perfect.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Appreciate it.
Not a
Cheers,
problem.
Bill.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, there it is, another cracker of an interview there. We'd like to thank Bill for taking time out to do the show and also being so open and honest about his time on and off the field. Hopefully we've taught a few of you younger fans how Rugby League has come on over the years and how different the game was in the 60s and 70s. And we've also quenched some of you older fans' thirst to hear some tales from your old school legends of the game. Thanks again to Bill for making us welcome in his home, and all you listening in podcast land. And don't forget to tell your friends and share and tweet us at the Can't Speak podcast. See you next time with another legend of the game. Thank you very much.
Nice one.
Cheers, gang.
Hello, it's us again. Just letting you know, if you haven't quite had your fill of the Can't Speak podcast, there's plenty more to catch online. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, searching the handle @Can'tSpeakPod.
I'd like to thank Thomas Griffin of The Splicing Block, who recorded, edited and produced this podcast. He's the man to ring for all your podcast needs.
Also, if you'd like to help us keep this podcast going and continue to bring these insightful and entertaining interviews with Rugby League legends, you could help us by going to our Patreon, which is the Can't Speak podcast on the Patreon website, and you can donate as little as £1 up to as much as you want, and that'll help us get around the country and get to these players that we all want to hear the stories of, and we'll continue to bring these interviews to you. Thank you very much.